humans. Long time no see. Happy New Year. It's been a minute. I know, right? Like, it's been raining like 3 weeks straight, and we have not had an opportunity to do anything decent. But today is something a little special. I got an email from my friend Jake. Pow, pow, pow. Thank you, brother. Telling us that there was a brand new store that had opened up, and he wanted me to come do a review on a new bike. One that I didn't even know existed, let alone the brand. So if you look behind me right here, that particular bike is called a fat bike, or AKA fat tired bike. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna have a good look at it. We're gonna see what's what, equipment check, make some comparisons, and well, I wanna see what else they got back there. So, well, grab your helmet and quite possibly your checkbook. You coming with me today? Oh, right. Cue the intro. So I actually decided to take this bike down and give it a good once over. This bike is a 27.5 fat tire bike. It's called the Marquette Framed, and I don't even think I'm really pronouncing that right, but it has some really neat features on it. Like here, let's come down to the drivetrain right here. It has a Scram X5 derailleur. So all top, you're getting a really good derailleur here. I would like the casing here. I think it could be protected, but your drivetrain is pretty decent. So for it to be a fat tire bike in 27.5, I would say that's a pretty good deal. The only downside is it does not have a suspension. It doesn't have a front suspension either, so it is definitely a true hardtail. However, here's something that you don't notice with most fat tire bikes. Check out your cockpit. The cockpit is extra long, considering that this is a fat tire bike. You're getting Shimano equipment for the top, your shifters, your brake levers, and it is a bike that features hydraulic disc brakes. Hydraulic disc brakes is what you're getting at for a fat tire bike. Not bad. Now, you do have a 1x-train for your drivetrain right here, but consider that it is a fat tire bike, and the saddle up here is really plush. Literally plush. I like it. It's really comfortable. So for my stroll, taking it around the store for a couple of laps, I like it. However, I do want to see if I could actually take it outside and give it a real review. But there's another bike I actually want you to see too. This is just the first bike that I actually saw. And, thanks to Jake giving me an email and a heads up, I wanted to come and actually review ourselves. So here, let me show you the other bike over here. So for my BMX friends, Meek Main, follow him on Instagram. Meek, homeboy, I think I might have found just something half decent. These look pretty legit. And look at this one. I think this one's right up your alley. Check out that leather saddle right there. That's definitely you, big brother. Meek is one of my friends who's actually a BMX rider. So this would be completely up his alley. If you're watching, this is definitely something you got to come check out, my brother. I'm going to just shoot you an email so you can see it. I like them. Now, I don't know too much about BMX, but I think that's pretty legit. Like, they look real lightweight and they feel okay. I mean, like, I haven't gotten on one yet, but I think I'll take one around the store just to give you an idea of what they feel like. Wanted to make sure I point that out to you. Shout out to Big Meek Lo Ming. Give you some doubt. Bow. Okay, so this next one is a fat tire hardtail bike. It's the same bike, just blue, and it has a suspension. This one has a lockout 120 millimeter travel suspension with hydraulic disc brakes. And you also have a reservoir to, do your adjustments and, do all of your maintenance. This particular suspension is probably one of the ones with the best speed lockout Fat tires, of course. The tires are really good. I would also say these being Minnesota framed, I think that's a pretty legitimate deal that they're asking for the hardtail. It's a 1x drivetrain, so you get a pretty decent setup. X5 scram derailleur. And other than the plastic pedals, I would say this was a pretty legitimate hardtail for it to be coming out of a big box retail store. And of course, you're gonna get a Volt saddle. The saddle can be changed out. You know, I prefer a different saddle. And let me tell you, this is a legitimate headset. And now, being that it's a 1x, you only get one shifter. So that's an adjustment for me, but this is also a Scram X7 shifter with your X7 DBS brakes. So for me and my liking, this is really good. This is really good. For what you're getting for a fat tire hardtail bike, I definitely think this is worth the money right here, my honest opinion. So, just so you know, I have been asked if I wanted to take it out and do a proper review. So I'm gonna take it out, we're gonna do a couple of laps outside, take it through a little scrollum course, and we'll see what it actually is capable of. So come on, let's go outside and actually take it for a test. So far, so good. Not bad for a fat tire bike. And I gotta tell you, to take it around the parking lot like I just did, absolutely fantastic. This isn't bad. Here, let's take it back inside and I'll tell you more in depth about how it feels. Come on, let's go. Well, good humans, I would say that this trip was definitely worth coming. It was definitely worth stopping by. Gotta give a big shout out to Jake, man. I appreciate you giving me the tip. I even managed to get some complimentary beef jerky. So, my review of the overall store experience was really good. The bikes was really cool. And I gotta say, for this to be a big box store, they got some pretty good equipment here. So definitely was worth the experience and stopping by. I'm glad I actually had a good look to come in and actually ride and, you know, do a real proper review on the bike. So come on, we got some bike riding of our own to go do, and it is a beautiful day out. So come on, good humans, let's head out. Oh yeah, put your seatbelt on. Welcome back to the ride. I told you today was going to be a legitimate ride. Today is absolutely beautiful, and I could not resist the urge to come out to one of my favorite spots and roll. I hear that it was flooded back here, and it actually really is. Like, we've been having this rain system and weather system come through here for the past 3 weeks. Oh my God, all of that is flooded. Wow. Look at that. I kid you not. Like, they said that we had a legitimate rain system. The river actually had risen And what ended up happening was the Army Corps of Engineers were gonna let some of the dams open to release some of this water. This is the flooding that they were talking about right here. And as you can see, a lot of the, well, you could just see it for yourself. The water is strangely high for this time of year over this way. And for those of you who don't know, this is usually brush and water, a lot of vegetation here. It's completely submerged. Well, that definitely was a surprise for me. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. I knew it was gonna be bad, but I didn't think it was gonna be like bad. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, this water has definitely risen just a smidget. Matter of fact, I would say more than a smidget. It's risen a lot. I've never seen the trail flooded like this before. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it's not affecting me because I'm still, you know, we're still riding. But there are some spots, look, we can't even go, we can't even access that. That looks serious. Look at that. Like, up here is where it kind of gets questionable because some of the water is actually coming down on the trail right here. Like, I don't know, like, look, look at that. All right, I don't think we're gonna go any further. That's flooded. Oh, dang it. That's absolutely flooded over there. And this looks like it's buckling. All right, let's investigate. Ugh. Well, the piece of wood missing right there isn't a real big deal, but yeah, this is closed off. It doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to go up there. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, we got plenty of paths we can go explore, but I wasn't expecting this. Remember I told you guys it had been raining like 3 weeks? Yeah, that is legitimately flooded. Look at that. And then the trail out, like, I can make the trail out. Hopefully, I don't end up going for a dip. I know I probably should not be walking further, but I want to actually get a in-depth look of it. Here's the water. Yeah. You know, I do kind of feel like I can make it. I legitimately feel like I can make that. But I better not, because if you can see right there, it just dips into the water, so it doesn't look like I'm gonna go any further. Wow. All right, here we go. So hopefully we don't run into any problems this way. If so, we'll deal with them as we come along. But this is legitimately higher. I think this is a higher elevation than where it was where we were at. So we should not have a problem. And on top of that, I don't expect to run into any water. I don't think we're gonna run into any water. Don't hold me to it. If I remember it right, this should actually bring us to the clubhouse. We're still in the back of the neighborhood, but at least this section isn't flooded like most of the other sections are. Isn't it neat though? It's one of my favorite spots to come ride because the trail system is so doggone flowy. It's like when you get to a climb, you're right to a hill, and when you get to a hill, you're back on the climb. It's really cool. So I like it. You can negotiate it really well. Nice bike. It gets a little thin this way, but you can negotiate it for fairly decent. At least I think you can. So that is the section that we actually could not get through and negotiate. They actually have that part of the trail blocked off. So we're probably just gonna turn around and head back. I know I mentioned it before. So we'll head back up, and then I believe there's some other parts of the trail that might not be flooded, but I wasn't expecting this. It turned out to be a really good day, but I didn't account for all of the rain that we had. So let's head back up that way. Come on. I probably should have did that, but these slopes back here are tricky. Here we go. These slopes are a little tricky. So if you're not careful, you'll find yourself going in for a quick swim. And or sliding. I slid through here one time, and thank God I recovered it, because that almost got really, really bad. Alright, so I just bumped into the trail manager, and he said that 50% of the trail system out here was actually flooded. So I guess I probably should have checked beforehand. I thought it would be a really good day to come out this way. But I'm gonna get the bike put away so we can actually go and salvage the rest of this day, since it started good, but then I should have checked. This is totally my fault. But we did manage to get some riding in. We at least got like 3 miles worth of trail in, believe it or not. So, all right, let me get the bike situated and put away, and then we'll figure out the next move. All right, see you in a second.
Back.